Have you ever heard of waterboarding? It's one of the most famous torture methods, and it comes back later in this video. You'll be shocked to know what it is. Right from interrogations that went on for days on end, people in jail made to stand on broken legs or not sleep for 180 hours straight, to prisons so cold, one suspect essentially froze to death. Finally, the Senate Intelligence Committee's report on its review of the CIA's programs for holding people and interrogating them is out, and it is brutal. From the report, here are some of the most evil CIA torture methods. Number 1. Rectal feeding and rehydration. There is new information in the torture report about how the CIA used rectal feeding and rehydration. The report says that the process was done to at least 5 prisoners. According to the report, Abd al-Rahim al-Nasir, the suspected USS Cole bomber, was put in a forward-facing position with their head lower than their torso while he was being fed through his rectal tube. Rectal feeding was also done to Mahid Khan, a prisoner who was born and raised in the United States and is accused of being Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's partner. A CIA letter included in the report says that his lunch tray of hummus, pasta with sauce, nuts, and raisins was pureed and rectally infused. Mohammed was also given water through his private area without a medical need. Total control over the detainee was shown by the fact that Mohammed's chief interrogator used the method. Number 2. Confinement in a box. In the case of Abdul Zubaydah, the Bush government agreed that the person should be put into a small box to limit their movement. Zubaydah says that he was interrogated in Afghanistan and was put in a number of different containment boxes. He told the ICRC that the boxes made it hard for him to breathe and that they made the cuts on his legs worse. He couldn't remember how long he was in each cell, and he thinks he may have passed out there. It was also okay to put bugs inside the box to take advantage of Abdul Zubaydah's fear of them. Memos say that this part was not used in the end. Number 3. The use of cold water. Several of the people the ICRC talked to said they were often doused in cold water while being questioned. Walid bin Atash, one of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's co-defendants, said that during the first 2 weeks of his detention in Afghanistan, his naked body was washed and then wrapped in plastic. It was then kept in the cold plastic for a few minutes. In November 2002, Gul Rahman, who was thought to be an Afghan terrorist, died of cold in the salt pit, a CIA black site north of Kabul. News from the Associated Press said that Rahman had been put in a cold cell, stripped down to his underwear, and soaked in water. There are more details about Rahman's death in the torture report, including information about how the CIA questioned him. This included 48 hours of not getting any sleep, hearing too much, being alone, getting a cold shower, and being roughed up. The study says that these methods were not approved ahead of time by CIA headquarters, but the day before Rahman died, a CIA officer told everyone else that Rahman had to be cuffed to the cell wall and set on the cold floor without any clothes on below the waist. At this point, enhanced measures had been accepted by the CIA's main office. The CIA officer who sent these orders did not get in trouble. After 4 months, he was instead given $2,500 in cash for his consistently superior work. Number 4. Waterboarding. For water suffocation, the person is strapped to a board that is tilted and has their legs raised above their head. A cloth is then put over their face, hiding their nose and mouth. Then, water is poured over the cloth over and over to stop breathing, making it out to seem like the person is drowning and cause fear. The process lasts for about 40 seconds and was done more than once while the person was being questioned. Officials in the Bush government say that the process was done on 3 prisoners, but a study from 2012 from Human Rights Watch says the number could be higher. Zubaydah, who is thought to be a top lieutenant of bin Laden, told the ICRC, "I struggled without success to breathe. I believed I was going to pass away. I lost charge of my pee." He was waterboarded 83 times, while Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who is thought to be the main planner of the 9/11 attacks and is one of the CIA's most important prisoners, was waterboarded 183 times. Number 5. Beating and threats. A lot of prisoners have said that interrogators beat them, and the CIA paper lists a number of acceptable ways to do this, such as attention grasps, facial holds, and insult slaps. Most of the people the ICRC talked to said that they were beaten right after being captured and sometimes more than once on the same day. Someone who was being held said, "I was punched and slapped in the face and back so hard that I was bleeding. My head was hit against the wall over and over while I was tied to it with a rope around my neck." 6 of the people who were being held said that they were hit against walls after a collar was put around their necks. They called it walling, A fake bendable wall is built and a prisoner is thrown against it, making a lot of noise. The noise is meant to make the person in jail think they are hurt. People who were in jail also said that they and their families were threatened with serious violence and sexual abuse. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed told the ICRC that he was told that he would be put on the edge of death and back again. At least 3 of the people who were tortured were told that their families would be hurt. Nashiri was told by his interrogators that his mother would be set up in front of him and sexually abused. The story also says that one of the prisoners was told that his mother would have her throat cut. It's not clear which prisoner this was about. As shown in the torture report, Nashiri was threatened with a gun held close to his head and an electric drill used close to his body. During that time, Nashiri had a blindfold on. The report says al-Nashir did not give any additional threat information during or after these interrogations. Number 6. Stress positions. The CIA used a number of different stress positions. 10 terror suspects told the ICRC that they had been told to stand up straight and be chained to the ceiling for up to 3 days, and in some cases, for more than 3 months. Being chained to the floor with arms stretched over their head was another stressful situation. The ICRC talked to 3 prisoners who said they were forced to pee and defecate on themselves while they were in these positions and were then left standing in their own waste. The purpose of these stressful situations was to make people tired, uncomfortable, and unable to function normally. Number 7. Sleep deprivation. People were regularly kept from sleeping, which was seen as a key way to improve interrogations. A lot of these techniques were used in other types of interrogations, like putting someone in a stressful situation or shackling them while they were standing with their hands in front of their body. Loud music and white noise were used a lot. They were sometimes played on short loops 24 hours a day. It was also said that cells were kept cold on purpose so that prisoners wouldn't fall asleep. A detainee could be kept awake for up to 180 hours, which is about a week. However, the agency told the Justice Department that it only kept 3 prisoners awake for a maximum of 96 hours. The ICRC talked to 14 prisoners, and 11 of them said that they had not gotten enough sleep. According to one, "If I started to fall asleep, a guard would come and spray water on my face." According to the report on torture, 4 prisoners, 2 of whom had broken feet, were shackled and put in standing positions for extended periods of time to keep them from sleeping. Abu Hazim and Abdal Karim, 2 men who had broken feet while trying to escape capture, were also put through walling, stress positions, and being squished together, even though doctors said that their injuries made this type of questioning impossible. Number 8. Forced nudity and restricted diets. Some methods were seen by the CIA as conditioning measures meant to get prisoners used to being helpless instead of giving them useful information on their own. And not getting enough sleep was one of these. It was also okay to strip a prisoner naked, which, according to a memo from the Justice Department to the CIA in 2005, rewarded detainees instantly with clothing for cooperation. A Justice Department lawyer wrote that leaving a prisoner naked might cause embarrassment, but it wasn't sexual abuse or the threat of sexual abuse. In another conditioning method, a prisoner was given a bland, commercial liquid meal instead of regular food. It was suggested that prisoners eat at least 1,500 calories every day, and the CIA relied on medical staff who are sworn to do no harm to their patients to make sure that detainees didn't lose more than 10% of their body weight. A memo from the Justice Department said that changing the diet could increase the effectiveness of other techniques, such as sleep deprivation. And there we have it. All these torture methods just to get out of the truth. Really brutal. So, which do you think is the most brutal? Let's hear it in the comments section down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more captivating videos. Thanks for watching.